Hello everyone and welcome back. I think we're on episode 6 now. We're going to go through Universal Resorts this time around. I'm going to change the format of how the video works just to make them easier to watch, so we're doing them in short bursts. But this episode is going to go through Universal Studios Park, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay, and then any extras like fast passes, photo passes, all the seasonal events, the Universal app, and some tips. So let's get right into it. So first of all, we're going to talk about Universal Studios. This is where I first fell in love with going to Florida. Back in my day, when I first started going in the 90s, you had your proper movie backlot sets then, so you had your Back to the Future rides, your King Kong, the backlot tours, and things like that, which made Universal's Studios special. A lot's changed now. It is becoming more theme park orientated now, which we'll go through, and we're getting lots of big expansions mainly focused around Harry Potter. So Universal Studios itself is split into 7 areas. You first walk into the park, you've got Production Central. This is where your Rip Ride Rocket is, which is the only roller coaster. This one of 2 roller coasters in Universal Studios. You follow that down, you go into the New York area where you can find Jimmy Fallon and the new ride that's just opened, and the Mummy ride. As you carry on going through there, you've got San Francisco. This is a very small area now. There's not a lot going on there apart from the Fast and Furious ride. Go around the back of one of the restaurants, which we'll go through in a minute. There's Jaws is still there, because obviously the Jaws ride now, that's long gone, but they've still kept the photo up with the shark hanging down when they caught him in Amity. That's still a photo op. Then it works round and you go into the London area where you've got King's Cross, and then the entrance into Diagon Alley. It's still there at the moment. You've got Fear Factor, which is next to that. There are rumours that's going, which we'll go on to in a little bit more detail. That follows round then into the World Expo, where you've got the Men in Black ride. Then it goes into Springfield, which is obviously the Simpsons. At the back of the Simpsons, you've got the Kids Zone, where you've got some Woody Woodpecker stuff, the Splash Zone, and the E.T. ride. And I think you've got a SpongeBob shop in there as well. We've never been in there, but it is in there. Cut through Central Park, it goes on to Hollywood, and then back to the entrance of the park. There will be a park map up here as I was talking through that, so you can see that as I go through it. So let's talk a little bit more about the rides. So these are the 3D, 4D rides, which seems to be quite a feature in Universal Studios. First one is at the entrance, and that's Minions Mayhem. This is very popular, even at park opening. This can get up to 30 minutes straight away, and you don't tend to see a drop below an hour once the park is properly opened. If you get there for early entry, that is the best time to jump on that if you want to go on it. Next over the road from that is Shrek 4D. There is rumours this is closing. It's still open at the moment. I'm not sure what it's going to be replaced with, but that is one of the rides. Used to get big queues, but it doesn't really attract a lot of attention now, so I don't know whether that's the reason why they're getting rid of that. The newest one, one of the newest ones, sorry, of the 4D ride is Transformers. It's in the centre of the park, around the San Francisco area. Again, gets quite high queues because obviously it's not a coaster, it's a 4D ride. It's good for most ages. Saving the Allspark, it's quite a fun ride. We've been on it, not a massive fan, but it is good fun. The newest ride there, and they've got new technology with this where it's virtual queuing. So you don't actually queue, but you do queue. It's quite a strange way of going through. You just go to different areas of the building. They give you a card, and then when the light shows up in the room with that colour, you go on the ride. And there's lots of entertainment there when you go through. And that is Jimmy Fallon. Again, that's like a 4D kind of ride where you're going through New York on a bike sort of thing. It's quite fun if you like that sort of thing, but we don't really know a lot about Jimmy Fallon, so it was like a try-in sort of thing. Yeah, it's good fun. Then the other one is The Simpsons, which replaced Back to the Future. Even though the place Back to the Future is still quite rough, it is probably the best 4D ride there, I think. We're big fans of The Simpsons, but out of all of them, that is quite fun. Same sort of thing as Back to the Future, if you ever did that. They just changed the cars and the filming of that as well. Next up, we've got your thrill rides. So as soon as you walk into the park, you've got the Rip Ride Rocket, which is the biggest roller coaster there. So you can select an array of tunes on a little control panel in front of you. You go vertical up a lift hill, and then it drops you down, and then the music goes round as you go around the track. It's really fun. Still, I can't believe how many times I've been on it, but I've never looked when I've been up that hill because I'm terrified of heights, but it's still a good ride. Another one, the other roller coaster is the Mummy. It's such a good ride. It's really short, but every time I go I forget how quick that ride is. Obviously it's based on the Brendan Fraser Mummy, not the Tom Cruise one, and it's really good fun. Definitely worth the queue. It never really seems to get a queue, to be honest. 30 minutes is the highest I've ever seen it, but it is good fun. Don't know why they class this as a thrill ride, but Men in Black is one of them. It's a shooter, so you're in a car and there's like alien targets that you shoot through the city. Again, not for me. The theming for the queue is brilliant. You go through the MIB headquarters, which is really cool, but the ride itself is a bit lacklustre for me, but I like that sort of thing. It's good fun. Escape from Gringotts is in Diagon Alley. A very good ride. Again, big queues for this because obviously the Harry Potter franchise is still massive. It's a good like roller coaster type of 4D thing, so it's in the middle of the two there, but it's really good fun. You go into the Gringotts Bank, and then you go into the cellars. You go through the bank vaults on the car sort of thing. That's really good fun. And then the newest one that's opening this year is Fast and the Furious. Don't know too much about this because obviously it hasn't opened yet. I believe it is another 3D sort of thing in a car, riding around and stuff, but I think they've got one in LA that it's going to be the same as. So obviously have a look into that if you're when you go. But that is the newest one this year. So before going to anything else, we'll go through some of the rumours of the park. As I say, Shrek's going, which is rumoured. Fear Factor is one of the shows that they had there. They haven't opened that since Halloween, and they believe that they're getting rid of it, and it's going to be another Harry Potter extension. The rumour is it's going to be something around the Ministry of Magic, which will be pretty good. So all that London part of there, that will all be Harry Potter. Terminator 2 obviously closed last year as well. There is a new feature going into that. There's still no plans or any real rumours of what that's going to be, but Terminator 2 has now closed. And then the Kids Zone that I mentioned, that is rumoured to be closing soon. I'm not sure how much of that is going to close, with ET for example, because they have just refurbished that. But that'll be closing as well soon to make way for Nintendo Land. But there's no dates as when that's going to happen. So there's a lot of stuff going on in Universal, but there's no actual concrete information of dates and stuff, which I think they need to step up their game, especially with all the stuff going on at Disney. So it is worth having a look at that. Couple of shows that they've got there at the moment then is the Blues Brother live show. It's not an arena or anything. They've got a side street where they've got a stage. They just pop up every now and then and do a little show. It's really good fun. It's outdoors. They pull up in their police car and do a quick show on there with some blues music, which is really good. And the other show, which we've never seen, I've seen it on people's blogs, but I've never actually been to see it myself, is the horror makeup show. It's like a comedy sort of thing where they get audience interaction, which is really good fun. So check out people's blogs for that, because that's worth having a look before you go. So check that one out. And as I say, one of the I think nostalgic things that they've still got there is the photo op with Jaws, which is next to Chez Alcatraz, which is one of the dockside bars in San Francisco. So it's just at the back. I don't think a lot of people realise it's still there, so there's never any real queues for it until someone looks down there and sees people hanging around. I think that's when people notice that it's there. But definitely check that out, especially if you're into that, because Jaws, although yeah, it was a terrible ride, I think they could have done more with that. Maybe brought it into the 21st century sort of thing, made it a bit better. But Harry Potter takes over. So the only other thing we've got for Universal is they do have a parade. It's a daily parade. It's called the Universal Superstar Parade. That goes on throughout the day. And then the only other thing they have in the middle of the lagoon, they've got a nighttime show called the Cinematic Spectacular. I've heard rumours as well that's changing. I'm not sure if it's this year or next year, but that will be changing as well. One good thing about Universal that you don't get in Disney, there's a lot of character spots just pop up everywhere. There's no times or anything, they're just pop up. Especially in the Hollywood area, you'll get Scooby-Doo, you've got The Simpsons, Betty Boo, Hello Kitty, SpongeBob, loads of different characters that just pop up around. Back to the Future, Doc Brown and Marty, the Blues Brothers hang around. Since Beetlejuice's show is gone, he pops up every now and then. You've got Marilyn Monroe as well. She does a little show in New York that just pops up. But that's about it. Still a great park. You can spend as little or as much time as you want in there, depending on what you want to do. It doesn't take long to walk around. That's what I like about it. It's compact. It takes you about half an hour to walk around the whole park, but you could spend quite a lot of time there if you wanted to. So that's it for Universal Studios. Next week we'll go through Islands of Adventure. Again, how long it takes me to go through it, we might add some bits on it, maybe Volcano Bay as well. But that's it for this week, so thanks for watching. If there is any questions you have that you want to answer, as usual, put them in the comments below. If you have watched this, and as I say, I'm doing Islands of Adventure next week, and you've got any questions about that, throw them in the comments and I'll have a look at them before I do next week's video. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, comment, subscribe, and see you next week.